What's up, you guys? I'm Dan, and this is Frugal Not Cheap. It's hard to believe, but it's actually been over 3 months since I moved from Plano, Texas to Bangkok, Thailand. In today's video, I thought it'd be neat to kind of give you my update or review on how things have gone over those last 3 months. And there was once this really funny Top Gear segment where they did a review of, I think, a Ford Fiesta, and they had this really dramatic music playing when they put up a question in text, and then they went over the answer. Anyway, so I'm going to kind of follow that format, but it's not going to be over the top funny or anything crazy like what they did. But anyway, just for humor also, I'll show you kind of what that video looks like after the intro. Alright, so hopefully I'll be able to show you a couple of clips of that really funny bit from Top Gear here.
Of course it's easy to park. It's got windows, it's got a steering wheel. There we are.
And it continues.
This can happen. Well, prices start at around £8,500, but you need £11,000 to get a decent mid-range model. So if you have £11,000 to spend on a car, then yes, you can. Although it is quite large for a Super Mini, very large in fact, it still fits on the Marine's LCVP Mark V landing craft with room to spare.
Man, these guys are funny. And before I get into answering the questions for today's video, just wanted to point out, I do have an older video about the idea of geographic arbitrage and my whole plan to move here to Thailand. This video was from quite some time ago. Of course, costs and all that kind of stuff would have been updated, so you might also be interested in seeing the video where I posted about how much I've spent so far, what's my monthly budget looking like here in Thailand as well. Got a couple videos on that. Without further ado, let's get on to the first question. Well, yes, it's a wonderful building. I love all the facilities and the building itself, and it's generally nice and quiet. Right now, as it happens, there's some contractors doing some work down the hall, renovating an apartment, so hopefully that's not going to mess up the video too much, but this is a rare thing. It is, like 2 in the afternoon, so no big deal, but generally it's nice and quiet here, and I love it. I also still don't mind the small size of my apartment. I did a video giving a tour of my apartment up here, by the way. The only thing that I would change is I would rather have a couch that I can lie down on. This one, because of these kind of high sides, it's not possible to do that. It's just not quite wide enough. But that's more to do with the couch and kind of like what the landlord picked for furniture rather than the space itself, which I think is quite ample for me. The only other thing I might want to change in the building is to allow eating in more of the common areas so you can kind of hang out with friends and it can feel a lot more like home. And we do have an extensive staff that could be, cleaning up after us. Any little bits and bobs, of course, we'd hope everyone's being pretty neat. But that's just not the rule that the co-owners came up with. They set the rules for the building. It's kind of like a sort of co-op type idea, I guess, but not really. It's not really a co-op, right? But anyway, yeah, so this is the way that they've decided it to be, and so I'm just going to abide by what they've decided, no big deal. Back on the plus side, my left elbow is finally mostly healed up from a workout injury, and so I've been able to actually take advantage of the gym here. We have a gym on both the 50th floor and on the 9th floor, which is awesome. And then, of course, I was already taking advantage of the swimming pool on the 50th floor, which is amazing. And then we have saunas on both the 50th and the 9th floor, too. Another thing I really like about this building is the location. So I'm still very happy with having chosen this for a location. And there's a lot of construction going on outside because they're building a new MRT station. This is generally the subway here. And so that's going to be on the new Orange Line extension, the Western extension. So it'll be really nice once that's finished. I'll have yet another super convenient way to get around the city just right outside my door. In the meantime, construction's a little bit annoying, but the good thing is there's a back exit to the building. This particular route takes just a tad longer to get to the BTS, but still very, very short. So that remains very convenient and I love it. I would say that I definitely don't regret not choosing a cheaper place further away from the BTS, because then I'd have to take like a bike or I'd have to walk further, and that's just no fun. When you're getting out of the house all the time like I am. After taking a bunch of taxis early on in order to buy larger items that I didn't really want to carry around, my taxi usage has really gone down drastically. I'm pretty much doing everything just by taking the BCS and then by walking to the final destination. The only time I had to use a taxi lately was to get to Topgolf out in Bang Na, because Mega Bang Na is quite a ways away from the Bang Na BTS station. Other than that though, again, it's BTS plus walking, and that's been really good for my daily step count. Not really. So it's actually really rare that I need cash at all. I've used it basically just to give tips to my masseuses at Let's Relax. And yeah, I don't know, a couple other little things, but generally it's pretty much not necessary at all for me to carry cash. I'm able to pay with prompt pay from my local Thai bank, and I can use that at all the street vendors, even at the Pak Nam Fair that I was at recently. So it's pretty amazing, great for a guy like me that doesn't like to use cash, because it's a lot easier to track when you have a transaction record in your online banking app, and then you can actually see where your money's going. Actually, there is one place that poses a difficulty, and so I've only been there a couple of times, and that's 7-Eleven. If the transaction's under 200 baht, you have to pay cash. But if it's over 200 baht, then you can use a credit card. So it's not so bad as long as you're getting a few things. I have learned a little bit more Thai, and before I went on a recent trip, I was actually working on reading and writing. I am going to get back to that. But I got to spend 17 days in Japan and Taiwan with my parents. We had a really, really good time, and during that time I kind of took it easy on the studying. That doesn't mean I haven't picked up any new Thai. I have learned a few words, that happens just over time. And of course I have kind of a bit of a foundation. I took some Thai lessons when I was first here in 1994 and picked up a lot of daily language, like, directions for the taxi driver, how to order food, bargaining when you're buying stuff, the numbers, days of the week, all this kind of time, all that kind of daily stuff that's always been in my repertoire. So, it's not too hard for me when I go out and about. That being said, these days especially, there's a lot more English usage, so you'll meet a lot of people that speak at least enough English to do the transaction or whatever, and so that is pretty helpful too if you don't know any Thai yourself. Well, on this one, I thought I would kind of get a wide experience and date a lot of different women, and I don't like to date multiple women at the same time seriously, but I thought I'd be kind of going on a lot of dates. But as it happened, the first date that I went on since starting to jump into the dating pool here in Thailand went well, and then there were 2 more dates in rapid succession, and then we've been seeing each other ever since. So I would say that dating seems to be going quite well. I've spent a total of $335 on our date so far, but that of course does include some food for me, because I would have needed to eat at those meal times anyway. So I guess we could subtract about $2 to $2.50 from each of those meals. I think still overall though, we're in the ballpark of around $300 over the course of 2 months and quite a few dates, so not too bad. Outside of dating, which I put in my entertainment budget, just didn't kind of really know where else to categorize it. I also went bowling, and that was $20, very fun. And I also spent $230 on golf equipment and on actually going out to the driving range twice, and then also going out to a golf course. The equipment costs outside of golf balls, of course, won't be recurring, and so I think it does look like a fun sport that I'll be able to, in a very casual way, keep up over time. Well, my spending was very, very high in the first month when I moved out here, but has been falling sequentially. And it was very high again because I had to pay an extra 2 months of rent. So I should be getting that if I ever, end up moving away. Although again, I am very happy with this condo that I'm living in. The first full month that I was here, which was August, I spent about $2,200. In the month of September, I spent about $2,060. And this month to date, with just a few days to go, I've spent about under $2,000 actually. So, it's not really fair because of course I was traveling, so spending is a bit lower this month. But it looks like overall, I'm still pretty well in that range of around $2,100 per month, which is going to annualize out to around $25K a year, which is about what I expected. Yes, absolutely. So it will of course take time to make friends and grow those friendships, and it's also early days with the woman that I've been seeing, but I am hopeful and optimistic. It's also, of course, great to be near my father and much closer to my mother and to get to spend a lot more time with them. And I do love this city of Bangkok. Now, of course, I miss my friends back in the States, but I am looking forward to visiting with them in early December. It's going to be a really fun time. So I guess to summarize, I would say overall, so far so good. Very happy with the decision to move here to Bangkok, Thailand. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please hit the like button and consider subscribing. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.